Hi, my name is Nick and I'm 43 years of age, and my occupation is a full-time musician slash singer-songwriter. And today I'm here to talk to you about how I got MTD, aka muscular tension dysphonia. It was first back in 2024. I was gigging on a regular basis, um, and it was about, I would say, round about late July, early August. I started noticing something wasn't quite right. Um, like, for example, um, I found certain songs quite difficult to sing. My voice kept sort of breaking halfway through and almost like freezing halfway through, and then it would come back again. And I just kind of, as you can hear, it goes every now and then now. I assumed it was just something to do with my sinuses. So I decided to go to the pharmacy and buy myself some nasal spray. And that kind of cleared everything up. But I did, I kept using it quite regularly, the nasal spray. Anyway, I kind of just shrugged it off my shoulders, not even thinking anything more of it. So I carried on gigging regularly and not really thinking, anything more of it. I then started doing one or two private parties where they just wanted you to play for maybe a few hours instead of two. And you basically, they're offering to pay you more. So I kind of took this on. I go, oh, yeah, I'll do these. So I did these parties. I must have been playing for about and singing for about I would say for maybe 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. And toward the end of the gig, by the time I finished and I gone home, my voice was completely, screwed. I was like, oh my God, no voices like that. So I thought, oh, this is just wear and tear. This is normal. My voice will be fine in a few days' time. A few days came and I couldn't even sing a note. And I thought, oh, I've really ruined my voice. I've done something really bad. So I just kind of did some steaming, did some exercises, just rested it. And the time it suddenly decided to go, a few weeks went by and still my voice wasn't quite right. It was better than it was, but it still wasn't quite right. And I remember I did one more gig, a private event, and it was okay. It was a very loud atmosphere. It was very loud. People were celebrating. It was really, really loud. So I could barely hear myself singing with all my equipment. I think inner ear monitors would have been ideal for that particular event, but they're expensive and I can't afford them. So I did this private party, and I'd done my lot. I'd sung for a couple of hours and I got paid, and then some people were staying behind and wanted me to play for a bit longer. And they were basically stuffing £50 notes in my pocket. And I felt obliged. I felt like I couldn't refuse. They shoved £50 notes in my pockets, and then they kept shoving more. Basically like a human jukebox is how I felt. And my pride kind of went out the window, and I felt like I was kind of almost forced into it. I wasn't forced into it, but it felt like I was. I felt like I had to do my bit as a singer, entertain these people, and I could feel my voice just getting more and more tired. It was just getting really worn. And anyway, finished that party at stupid o'clock, went home. The next few days, my voice just didn't feel right at all, and I remember speaking to my girlfriend and saying, look, something's not right. My voice it felt really tight, really strained, and I'd never really felt this before. And I know it wasn't my sinuses. I could tell it wasn't. I thought it was thrush because, you know, some singers on inhalers, on steroid inhalers, like myself, it can cause thrush in the back of your throat, which can affect your voice. So I said to my girlfriend, I don't feel right, and I tried to sing and I couldn't sing, and even she could hear me, you know, she could hear I could barely sing. I had no strength. I was like singing like that, like almost trying to get it out, and it was like something was blocking it. It wasn't quite right. And yeah, my girlfriend said, well, look, I'm going to talk to your parents and try and persuade them to, you know, book an appointment for you to go and see the ENT specialist. So anyway, my mum and dad sort of gave in and said, oh, okay, obviously because it's quite expensive all the time, and my dad very kindly pays for it. Thanks, Dad. Really appreciate it. And so we went to the ENT specialist. He put the telescope down the back of my throat, and he said, your larynx are tight. So I was like, oh no. He said, and I basically was worried, and I said, well, look, will I ever be able to sing ever again? Kind of thing. And he said, yes, you will be able to sing again, but you need to just rest your voice and not speak. I said, well, what was the problem that I've got? What is the condition? And he turned around and said, you have MTD, which is muscular tension dysphonia. I said, okay, right, okay. And it sounded really serious. Oh no, I'm never going to be able to sing again. The ENT specialist recommended a speech therapist to basically help my voice come back again, because I could barely speak. I was like talking like that, like really couldn't speak at all properly. And we met this speech therapist. She came around to my parents' house, and I had a session with her once a month. I think it was once a month, and she really helped me quite a lot. We did all these exercises and everything, which was good fun, and we had a good laugh at the same time. So we went through all this sort of speech therapy with the speech therapist once a month, and she noticed that my voice was quite high, and she said, it sounds like you have a condition called pubophonia, meaning that I haven't kind of gone through puberty with my voice, which is interesting. And we thought, never heard this before, you know. And she was telling my mum, and my mum was like, oh, yeah, that's very good. What did you know that? And bad impression of my mum. Sorry, mum. And she said, so basically, I had to train with her all over again to speak lower. And I had to talk like this. I had to go. I had to say things like "man in the moon" and Monday morning and all that lot. All these weird sort of phrases, and gradually my voice started to get deeper. But the one thing she didn't sort of do with me was, because clearly I couldn't sing properly at the time, so she couldn't really do much, I suppose, but she didn't really she helped me transition my voice from high to a lot deeper, but my singing voice was still high. My speech therapist, she recommended going to see a vocal coach who specializes in rehabilitation and sort of helping singers and speakers back to recovery, full recovery. And I met this vocal coach who's amazing, really phenomenal. FYI, she has helped me a huge amount, and I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't met her or had these sessions with her. And I said to her, I was diagnosed by my speech therapist with pubophonia. And she goes, Right, okay. So basically, my speaking voice had transitioned to a lower tone, but my singing voice hadn't sort of caught up. So to this day, I'm still with my vocal coach. She's amazing, and she helps me sort of different exercises, different strategies to try and cope with my voice. Yeah, how I cope day to day is different every day. I wake up every morning hoping that my voice is kind of back to its kind of former glory, but it varies. Some days it's better than others. Going through MTD has sort of mentally affected me really badly. I've pushed a lot of people away. I've pushed a lot of friends away because of it, which is horrible. It is a challenge, I'll be honest. Every day is a challenge, living with this or dealing with it. When I was having speech therapy, I should have seen like a therapist for my sort of mental health, but I didn't. Which I wish I had now, but I didn't. So my mental health is a lot more sort of stable than it was. I've still got quite a long way to go with it. I have an amazing girlfriend and an amazing family who have supported me through this whole thing. But it is difficult. It has been difficult. I've been trying to do open mic nights to try and build my confidence up, because now I'm kind of in sort of fight or flight mode with my voice. And it's a challenge every day. To all the singers out there, word of advice: just don't overdo it. It's easier said than done, and you can slip into that habit of just overdoing it, over singing, over performing. Yeah, it's not good. It's not a nice thing to suffer with, but it is. I'm getting there. But also, I'm really grateful to all my followers on all my social media platforms for all the support. It's really nice. Also, I'm working toward a new album, which, fingers crossed, is coming out hopefully late August, maybe early September, but I'm hoping not, hoping before then. Hoping before September would be good. Yeah, I'm sort of working on that at the moment in the studio with a really good friend of mine who's a fantastic producer and good friend as well. Yeah, thanks for watching, really appreciate it.